What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another and probably the last sus STI video for a while. There's a few key components we're waiting on to 100% wrap up the build, which I'm excited for. I guess it'd be like stage one of the build, sus TI V1, V1.0. There's much more mods to come in the future. But today we are going to be installing some new exhaust on the car and potentially going and driving it for the first time as well. I don't have brakes, like properly working brakes on the car right now. I have a manual bleeder, so I can do it myself, but I don't have the right adapter for the master cylinder. So Bobby's not available to help me bleed. Jared's not available to help me bleed. Nobody's available to help me bleed the brakes, so I can't drive it far. And plus, we don't have any glass in the car, so it's not a big deal. Either way, we are going to do some new Grimspeed exhaust on this thing, which I'm super excited for. This car has pretty much every Grimspeed part you could ever want. Grimspeed front mount, intake, boost controller, what else? The exhaust manifold cross pipe, a few other random goodies here and there, and now it's gonna get the cat back. Let's do a cold start real quick. A cold start for the boys. Also, I do need to figure out the taillights on this car. So whenever the battery is plugged in, the taillights are constantly on. So it may be like a stuck relay somewhere. We'll figure that out later on. Not a super big deal. It should be fairly easy. That's like the only, wait, it's not just a, hold up. Okay, the headlights do turn off. I thought the headlights were stuck on as well, but yeah, taillights are stuck on. When the ignition's off, everything's off, lights are off, taillights are on. Interesting, we'll figure that out. But let's do a cold start. What brand of exhaust is this? This is a X-Force catback. And it doesn't sound bad, to be honest, but it's actually made for a sedan and someone extended it for the hatch. So we're gonna put an actual legit hatch exhaust on it. We're still running the stock tune on this thing with 1200s in it. So that's also gonna greatly affect how this thing drives. And to be completely honest, I'm surprised it starts up and idles as good as it does with 1200s in it, 1200 cc injectors. All right, let's grab this exhaust, get it opened up, make sure it's actually the correct one that we need, and we can go ahead and get it installed. Like you guys just heard, this X-Force doesn't really sound all that bad, but yeah, we're gonna replace it anyway. So here is the full non-resonated 3-inch Grimspeed catback. Muffler, a little pipe. I would consider that the mid pipe. In that box we have all the hangers, hardware, and gaskets. Should be a fairly easy, straightforward install. Let's get this thing up in the air and get the old system off. The old exhaust system is now off. A little bit dirty. Not bad. If anyone wants this, local only, Spokane, Washington, I'll give you a deal. A couple $100, she's yours. Let's move on to the Grimspeed. I'm excited for this. So we got 4 hangers, adjustable height. So we have 1.5 inch hole and a 2 inch hole. And these things are super, super stiff. So they're gonna be fun to get on. I already know that. But I'm gonna start with just the muffler itself. As soon as you get that muffler hanging, the rest of it should be fairly simple. Okay, we got a problem. Full exhaust is on. It looks beautiful. Need to wipe some WD-40 off. All the piping is on. Piping is on properly, and we're about 3 inches too short. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe this is a downpipe made for older STI, or maybe sedan and hatch downpipes are different. I'm not really sure. I do know this is indeed a hatch catback. A little bit oily, but 08 to 14 STI hatchback. I really don't feel like taking the system back off. Thankfully, we're not driving this car a lot right now. Well, not really at all. So I'm gonna leave the system on, and I think I'm just gonna go buy a new downpipe because I know the downpipe's not proper for this car. So if Grimspeed has a sick, nice downpipe, I'll just buy that. So I know everything works like it should. But dang, I was hoping to get that done. I don't know if I really want to wait for a new downpipe to come in. I might just extend my downpipe. There's no way I'm gonna extend the catback like they previously did. I'd much rather cut our janky downpipe. It's not janky, but I'd much rather cut the downpipe versus a brand new Grimspeed catback. So I might just extend the downpipe 3 inches. If you have any idea what downpipes are shorter than others, drop a comment below. Change of plans again. I just talked to Grimspeed. They are fairly confident it's an 02 to 07 downpipe that is on this car. Sus. It only fits the name, Sus TI. They make a downpipe with a high flow cat. Unfortunately, they don't make any more catless stuff. And I don't think anybody does anymore, honestly, with all this EPA bullshit going on. So we're gonna get a Grimspeed high flow catted downpipe installed on this car, and it's gonna fit obviously properly, which at the end of the day, I'm gonna be much more excited about that because I was planning on Cerakoting our downpipe. It's pretty rusty, fairly crusty. So yeah, I was gonna have to sandblast and Cerakote it, which now I'm not going to because we're just gonna put a brand new Grimspeed on here. Look how much better the new stuff looks versus the old. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this downpipe on here for now so it's not like just straight out of the turbo. but it's still gonna be pretty loud. Let's get this tied up where it should be. And this car's actually coming off the lift because we have other projects to work on. So while we wait for more parts for this thing, we can move on to the next project. Kind of sucks that we can't hear what this system sounds like today, but we will in the future, not a big deal. All right, so Jared ended up coming over. We're gonna bleed the brakes on the hatch, but before we do that, we're gonna go shoot for this upcoming Boston drop. So we're taking out the Supra again. It's always fun to shoot photos with the Supra because it's the coolest car that I own, even though it's stock. But she's a little bit full of powder coat, so I'm gonna hose her off real quick, give her a nice little bath, and then we can take this thing out and go rip it.
I'm so... What is this? Why do I feel like I'm... Off-road build?
Yeah, I'm gonna trade in the truck for this for the winter. She does really well in the snow. Never been off-roading in a Supra before. Probably the first and last time I'll ever do that. Watch us get stuck now. All right, this is the first shirt. Jared, hold my camera real quick. I gotta show them the drip, all right? So we had a Fast Cars and Freedom shirt last time. It sold out in 0.18 seconds, or was it 0.19?
Something like that.
So we brought it back with a much more fuego color, all right? This is army green, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call
military green, army green, yeah.
Similar to last time, just a much more fire color. And if you want one, you better be on the site about 3 hours early. All right. Trying to decide what does worse, this or the S2K. All right, Jared and I are gonna run through, bleed the brakes on the hatch real quick, and then I might go drive it down the road for 10 feet and see how she drives.
Try not to knock it off the lid.
Bro, knowing you, I wouldn't doubt it. It's been on the lift for like 4 years. Jared touches it and it falls.
Sounds about right.
We have about 0 seconds of daylight left, but I'm still gonna go drive it down the block because I didn't bleed the brakes for nothing. See how loud she is with a 3-inch gap between the catback and the downpipe. That's a little bit loud. This thing runs surprisingly good. And our exhaust works. There's still smoke coming out of the catback, so it's lined up somewhat close. That catback looks so much better than the stuff that was on here. Quite a bit bigger tips, nice and shiny. Damn, this thing looks good. But I don't know why this thing runs so good. I'm so freaking excited for this car right now. She needs a lot of work, but that was the funnest drive of my life. Clutch needs to be bled. Brakes seem decent. The ABS light is on, which is kicking on some other lights as well. We'll figure that out. It shouldn't be nothing too crazy. But dude, just driving this thing down the road after it's been on the lift and been completely torn apart for so long, it was the coolest thing I've ever done. It was really exciting. And it looks fire. It looks so good. I love how it turned out. It's a shame we couldn't hear the full extent of the exhaust. I have no clue what it's gonna sound like. Hopefully it sounds good. Downpipe comes in soon. Some other parts come in soon, and we can move forward with the build. In the meantime, we have another project to take on, which I'm super excited for. If you guys want to pick up this exact Grimspeed exhaust, I'll have a link down below. Big shout out to Grimspeed as always for coming through and hooking us up with the highest quality parts. I know today's a little bit shorter of a video. I apologize, but that's all we can do on the car today. I hope you guys enjoyed either way. Remember, this Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Boston drop goes live. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.